The forest always intrigued me with its deep, dark mystery. The trees seemed to breathe and the wind whispered secrets that no human ears could hear. I always thought that it was only my imagination until one summer night when I found myself lost in the forest. It all began with a simple walk, a mere stroll to enjoy the natural beauty, but it ended up being the most terrifying night of my life. It was a moonless night, and the dense canopy of the trees blocked out all light, leaving me stranded in complete darkness. I had lost my way and my phone had no signal. Panic was starting to set in when I heard it, a low, guttural growl coming from the depths of the woods. I tried to ignore it, thinking it was just an animal, but as I moved forward, the growling grew louder and more menacing. The trees started to bend and sway, and the wind grew stronger, carrying with it a scent of decay and death. It was then that I saw the eyes staring at me from the darkness, two piercing orbs glowing with a sinister light. My heart thudded in my chest, and my legs trembled beneath me. I tried to run, but my legs wouldn't cooperate. The growling turned into a snarling, and I knew then that I wasn't alone in the forest. Something was following me, stalking me like prey. Every time I turned around, I saw the eyes, closer and closer, until they were right in front of me. It was then that I saw it, a creature unlike anything I had ever seen before. Its fur was matted and dirty, its eyes were red, and its teeth were razor sharp. It had claws like knives, and it stood taller than any man I had ever met. I tried to scream, but no sound would come out. The creature was inches away from me when suddenly, a voice came from behind me, calling out my name. It was a familiar voice, a voice I knew well. It was my father. The creature vanished into thin air, and I was left standing there, shaking and trembling. My father put his arm around me, and we walked back to our cabin in silence. The next morning, I woke up in my bed, my clothes were soaked with sweat. I thought it was just a nightmare, but when I looked in the mirror, I saw the scratches on my arms and legs. It wasn't a dream, it was real. Years went by, and I never spoke of that night to anyone. I convinced myself that it was just my imagination, but I never went into the forest again. It wasn't until a few months ago when I heard the whispers in the woods again. This time, they were louder, clearer, and more sinister than ever before. I know now that the forest is alive, and it has a hunger for human flesh. I warn you, dear reader, to never venture into the whispering woods, for if you do, you may never come back.